Presenting the Northwest Bank Wildcat News with the Bolt's Emily Magas. News from the Humboldt schools presented every Wednesday at this time by Northwest Bank. And now, here's Emily.
Good morning, this is KHBT 97.7 The Bolt, and it's time for the Northwest Bank Wildcat News. This morning I'm joined by Greg Thomas, and we're going to be talking about spring sports and a couple very important spring dates that he wants to talk about. So I'll let him talk about all of the events that the Wildcats have got coming up here soon.
Good morning, Emily. Thanks for having us today, or having me, and we appreciate KHBT hosting Wildcat News. First thing I want to do is give a good luck out to Mrs. Miller and all her art students as they compete at Iowa Falls at the North Central Conference Art Show today. So best of luck to all of our student artists and Mrs. Miller today. Mm-hmm. We were just talking before we went on the air, it doesn't feel much like spring, but the spring sports are off and running and swinging and kicking. So we have girls track was the first thing I was going to talk about. They started practice early in March, and unfortunately, they had their first track meet last night at Clear Lake canceled due to weather. Clear Lake was getting a lot more of the precipitation than we were in this area, but so they weren't able to run the first meet, and that's been canceled. Their next meet is this Friday, April 8th at Hampton, and that track meet starts at 4:30. The girls were able to compete in one indoor meet this year at BV University in Storm Lake, and the girls' home meet, we have one home high school meet, and our JV and varsity girls will compete at home on Monday, April 25th at 5 o'clock. So come out and support the lady tracksters there. The co-ed state qualifying meet is Thursday, May 12th this year. Typically that's a 4 o'clock start. And geographically, it looks like we're either going to get sent to Gilbert or Spirit Lake. Look like to be the two closest. The teams who goes where hasn't been assigned by the Iowa Girls Athletic Union or the Iowa High School Athletic Association. Mm-hmm. As far as boys track goes, boys track also competed in that indoor meet at BV. Last night was the first track meet over at Eagle Grove. It was a brisk, cold evening, but the boys did quite well. We left Eagle Grove thinking that we were one point out of first place. When I picked up the messenger this morning, it said that we won the meet by 5 points. So I don't know. We haven't gotten the results, so I don't know if there was a calculating error in the meet results, and so we'll have to stay tuned and find out. But the messenger reports us as the champs this morning, so hopefully that's the case. Mm-hmm. The 6th annual Charlie Bunn Relays will be held this Friday. It's our high school boys JV varsity meet, and this Friday, April 8th, and we start that at 5 o'clock. So come out and support the boys. And we thank all of our volunteers that have signed up to help out. Again, for the boys, it's for state qualifying meet, it's the co-ed meet, and again, it's Thursday, May 12th at the site to be determined, either Gilbert or Spirit Lake. Mm-hmm. The state co-ed track meet for both boys and girls, that will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, May 19th through the 21st. And 3A is this 2A and 3A are grouped together, and we have the morning sessions on Thursday and Friday this year. So we'll be starting at 9 o'clock.
Awesome. At
the state track meet. So hopefully we can qualify a lot of events and get a lot of people down, a lot of kids and a lot of spectators down to the Drake Oval. Mm-hmm. Boys soccer is off and running. We play all of our home soccer matches, girls and boys, are all down at the field downtown, which is affectionately known as the old football field to everybody around the area. But we don't have lights down there anymore, so all of our home matches start at 5 o'clock. A lot of our matches on the road start at 5:30, so it'd be important to stay tuned to the Humboldt website, KHBT, for information on when those matches start. But the boys started last night. I was unable to find a score today, but they started last night at Fort Dodge against the Dodgers. Their next match is this Friday, April 8th, and that's at home against Clear Lake. And again, like I said, we start at 5 o'clock. Boys regional tournament starts Monday, May 23rd. Mm-hmm. Girls soccer, they started last night with their first home match, and we beat Cal. Hampton Dumont is a combined team, and we beat Cal Hampton Dumont 6-0 last night. So the girls got the season off to a good start with a victory. Their next match is home next Monday against Storm Lake, and that's on April 11th. Excuse me. And the girls regional soccer starts May 31st. Girls golf has been practicing since March 14th. Most of our dual and triangular meets start at 4:30, and our first home meet is this Friday, April 8th, and that's against Pocahontas. That's just a dual. The North Central Conference golf tournament this year is Monday, May 9th, and that's at Clarion, and that starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. The girls' union waits a little bit later in the season to announce where the district and regional tournament sites will be, so we don't know the sites, but we do know the dates. Monday, May 16th, our girls will compete in districts, and Monday, May 23rd, our girls will compete in regionals. And our girls golf team is coming off a state runner-up finish last year in 4A. Due to enrollment fluctuations, we've moved down to 3A in classification, so we'll be in the 3A field this year. And the state meet for girls is May 31st and June 1. Boys golf started also March 14th, and again the duels for most of our duels and triangulars for boys and girls start at 4:30. Our first duel is this Friday, April 8th, and that's at Pocahontas at 4:30. The only home meet, it's kind of a strange golf schedule for our boys this year. Most of our conference schedules are triangulars, so every two years you get to host a triangular. Our only home golf match this year happens to be the North Central Conference meet, and that's going to be Monday, May 9th at 10 o'clock out here at the Country Club. So the course will be closed all day on May 9th for the home boys North Central Conference tournament. Sectionals, the Boys Athletic Association has announced all of their sites. Boys sectionals will be ours, and most of the time they're on Friday. Our sectional is actually held on Thursday, May 12th this year, and that's due to course availability. And that we will be traveling to Polk City and playing at the TCI Golf Course in Polk City at 9 o'clock in the morning on May 12th. And our districts for our boys is Friday, May 20th, and that's at the Ames Golf and Country Club at 10 o'clock in the morning. Again, that's May 20th. Boys State 3A Golf, which we're in the 3A classification for boys as well, and that will be at Spring Valley just up here north of Livermore on May 27th and 28th.
All right, awesome. I'm going to stop you right there, and we're going to take a quick break here on 97.7 The Bolt. We'll be back to talk about middle school sports and some other important spring dates that you need to be aware of, so keep it right here on 97.7 The Bolt.
Hi, this is Corey Matson with Northwest Bank. There's a special pride in owning and managing your own business or farm operation. There should also be a special relationship between the customer and their financial institution. At Northwest Bank, we believe our purpose is to help you reach your goals. Come experience the difference. Great rates, great products, and superior service that is a commitment you can bank on. Stop in and see us at Northwest Bank, 801 Sumner Avenue, or call us at 332-1840. Northwest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is 97.7 The Bolt, and we're back here with Greg Thomas talking about spring sports and all of the important spring dates that we have coming up. We're getting close to the end of the school year, and it's time to start thinking about some important events as well. But first, we're going to talk about middle school sports and how they're doing so far.
Well, the middle school sports, there's a lot of kids out for track this spring. In the middle school, we've got over 60 middle school boys and 60 middle school girls out for track, so that's great participation numbers. They started practice Monday, March 28th, so they've been going for a couple weeks now. Most of our middle school track meets will be starting at 4:30. But it's best to check the calendar, check the website just to make sure. But our girls' middle school track, their first meet is Monday, April 11th, and that's actually going to be a co-ed track meet, at Ogden. That's a new meet for us. We just joined that one this year, and that's a 4:30 start. Their home meet, we get to host one home meet every year, and that's Tuesday, May 10th at 4:30 up in Mason Mock Field at the high school track. And then the North Central Conference Middle School Girls Track Meet is May 13th, and that's at Algona. The middle school meet starts at 4 o'clock. Boys Middle School Track, their first meet is that same Monday, April 11th at Ogden at 4:30. Our boys home middle school meet this year is Tuesday, April 18th, and that's at 4:30 p.m. up at Mason Mock Field on the high school track. And the middle school boys travel to Iowa Falls this year for the North Central Conference meet, middle school meet, and that's May 13th starting at 4 o'clock. So middle schoolers off and running with track. They'll be competing starting next Monday. Will be their first competition. You know, just a few announcements as we get the spring sports underway. Just ask all of our patrons and all of our community members to please be on the lookout. Most of our track workouts are on the track or on the trail around the high school, but from time to time we do run to some trails around town, and we also are out on Elmhurst. So the busiest time for our track kids obviously is right after school from 3:30 to 5:30. So when you're around the high school on Elmhurst, close to one of those trail entrances around town, just keep your eyes open for some from high school runners, and just be careful there. And we want to also thank some very important people that are critical to our sports programs. Leo Reigelsberger is our transportation director. He and all of our bus drivers coordinate all of our transportation to all of our events. There's a lot going on in the spring sports, and the weather throws a monkey wrench into a lot of things. So a lot of times Leo and the bus drivers have to be very flexible, and we appreciate all they do getting us to our competitions and home safely. So thanks to Leo and all the bus drivers. Also our custodians, especially Mike Duffy, our head custodian, and also Bucky Ruby, Dave Disler, and Dirk Lundgren for all they do to get our outside facilities ready to go. A lot of behind the scenes work goes into that, and those guys do a great job. We also thank all of our volunteers that help run our outdoor activities, especially all of our track workers. This Friday the weather is calling for 45 degrees and wind, and it's not the most pleasant weather to be out working and volunteering, but we have great support for our especially for our track programs and for the volunteers. Also want to mention our booster club, and we appreciate all our booster club does, raising financial support, and those that donate to our booster club, much appreciated. For we just couldn't function as an athletic program without our booster club and all the support, community support we get. Also want to say thank you very much to the Humboldt Country Club for allowing our high school golfers to practice and have our home meets out at the Humboldt Country Club. Dayton Ruby's the new golf course superintendent out there, and Dayton's been real easy to work with, and appreciate all that he does. And then just some dates that are coming up. We have Sound Stations is coming up Saturday, April 16th. We have a lot of talented kids in our high school, and it's always a fun show to go up to the high school auditorium at 7 o'clock for Sound Stations. Prom is just around the corner, Saturday, April 23rd. Senior Awards Banquet, Senior Awards Night will be Wednesday, May 4th at the high school auditorium at 7 o'clock. State Large Group, we get to host our State Large Group Music Festival again this year. It's back in Humboldt, and that's going to be Friday, May 6th. And that's an all-day thing. We'll have over 1,000 high school students, band and vocal students competing and performing at the high school. Parade of Bands is Monday, May 2nd at the high school gym at 7 o'clock. Parade of Choirs is at the high school auditorium Monday, May 16th at 7 o'clock. Our Senior Top 20 banquet is Wednesday, May 11th. And graduation, I know it doesn't feel like graduation weather, but graduation, we'll be sweating by then, is Sunday, May 22nd at 2 o'clock in the high school gym. And then our last day of school, barring any more snow days, knock on wood, is Wednesday, June 1st. So just encourage everyone, spring weather is kind of crazy and unpredictable, so we encourage everyone to stay with the most up-to-date schedules. Go to Humboldt website and click on activities and then calendars, and we try to update things as moment by moment as soon as we get reports if something is postponed or canceled. And we always call 97.7 The Bolt, so always keep your dial tuned to 97.7 The Bolt for your latest Wildcat activities and updates.
All right, awesome. So again, that is Greg Thomas here on the Northwest Bank sponsored Wildcat News on 97.7 The Bolt.
Thank you.
This has been the Northwest Bank Wildcat News Program, presented every Wednesday at this time by Northwest Bank.